You want me? I want you. Thank you so much for what? No. JKB back with another episode. Today I'm doing Uncharted 4 on the show. Thank you to ANC Games for sending over the review copy. And as always, I thought I was on good terms with Sony, but apparently 7 people that work at an office can't return emails over there. So hopefully they all get fired and a new team gets brought in. No thanks whatsoever to the PR people that handle Sony in Canada. It's like the worst PR in the fucking history of PR. Unbelievable. But enough whining about getting free games. I know it's a little silly to do that, but thank you to ANC Games for supplying a review copy of this amazing game. Let's get into the review right now. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is the last installment of the series that Naughty Dog will be producing. And as they say, it's always best to quit when you're on top. And I can make a joke about something there, but I won't. That's exactly what Naughty Dog has done with Uncharted 4. As always, I don't want to destroy the story for you guys. I want you to experience it for yourself, because this is a game that literally raises the bar so high that nobody could ever get to it. I don't even think it's possible that we'll see another game that is this incredible on the PS4 in terms of its story, its pacing, its graphics, its ending, it's everything. All of the characters, the motion capture, the performance, the voice acting, everything is spot on. It is one of these games that really is super rare on console, and to have it come out from the same studio that produced The Last of Us tells me something. This studio knows what they're doing. Please, God, give these guys a Star Wars game. Let me talk about the story quickly here. I think I can give you a little bit of a, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that Nathan Drake is at the end of his adventuring rope. He wants to settle down with his girlfriend, and he just wants to live a normal life. He wants to do good things and not break the law. There's one little problem with this game. He doesn't want to go against the grain. He doesn't want to be a thief anymore. He doesn't want to steal. He wants to do it on good terms. So he's working as a scuba diver, and his idea of a perfect life now is kind of boring. He just wants to find wreckage at the bottom of the sea, live with his girlfriend, and live on the up and up. Doesn't want to break the law. However, the part that really does stand out to me, that bothers me about this whole story versus morals thing, is he kills so many people in this game, and that is my literally only nitpick that I have about anything. Everything else in this game is spot on. The story is something to be amazed at. You will sit back and literally, I turned to my good friend Kat Jovi, who used to be on this show, and I said, this is better than a fucking film. And I'm a huge film buff. For me to say that is ridiculous. I haven't said that since The Last of Us. I don't want an Uncharted film. I have an Uncharted film. It literally is 4 amazing video games. I mean, 3 was okay, but this is just one of these things that we're not going to see on console for a very long time, especially in the Uncharted series, because, well, as we all know, Naughty Dog is done with Nathan Drake, which by the end of this game, you're going to be upset about that. Simply put, this is the best PS4 game and possibly the best looking console game ever released so far, and I've played almost every single game released. The scale of Uncharted 4 is spectacular. It is unbelievable. There is no game like this on console at the moment. I can't believe how, I can't stress this enough. It is so gorgeous. The design team and the art direction are just brilliant fucking artists. These guys deserve awards. This is a Game of the Year contender easily. Some of the best, and I mean best, graphics I've ever seen and atmosphere effects I've ever seen in a video game are in this video game. It is miraculous that they achieve this on the PS4. At times I did see a little pop in and out, but I mean that is just, you forgive it instantly because of the fact the atmosphere in this game puts you into a world that you've never experienced, at least on this generation of consoles, and I can't stress this enough. You will be looking at every single frame thinking, this is a beautiful masterpiece, piece of art. Every single frame of the video game has something to basically just be an amazement at. I mean, I can't stress this enough. Everything from the mountains, the forests, the small towns, even things you're used to in the series. Like Nathan Drake himself looks so spectacular in this game that there are times that you forget you're playing a video game and you think you're kind of playing a movie and you're kind of on autopilot, just experiencing some of the most, I can't stress this enough, guys. I know that I'm not going into too much detail of what I'm essentially losing my mind over here, and that's because I don't want to give too much away. There are moments in this game that I have not had in any other video game, period, ever. And I really think you should go out there and experience this. Competitive multiplayer is an absolute blast in Uncharted 4. Players can play as different characters from throughout the series, and of course you'll find treasures on the ground that can be used to purchase new items and weapons during gameplay. The all-new mystical, supernatural power-ups that were shown to us at E3 last year, these are a welcome addition to the multiplayer. I know that some people were feeling that they were a little OP, they looked a little bit crazy. What are they doing in an Uncharted multiplayer? Well, I'll say it does definitely affect the gameplay in terms of the pacing, and some of them do feel a little OP, but I don't want to get into the details of what each of them do. I want you to actually experience them for yourself. I think the multiplayer is a welcome addition to the Uncharted series. I know that a lot of people feel like it's kind of tacked on. I have to say, not in this one. Had an absolute blast with the multiplayer. Gonna touch your tips. I'm gonna talk about two new additions in gameplay that I really feel elevate the series. One of them is a Jeep that you'll be driving around randomly. Now, there's one little problem I have with it. The acceleration on it seems to be based on how they want the pacing to go in the game. Now, this means you can't gun it in the wilderness. You can't just hit the gas and go flying in a Jeep off of jumps. Unfortunately, it really does feel like they limit it at times, and it's almost feeling like it's a bit on rails. Now, I know that it is an open world, but I mean, some of the maps that you're driving on are definitely quick time events. When you go over bridges, they will crumble the exact same way that they did the previous time you played them. But in saying all of that, there's so much terrain to drive over that it really feel like if you play this game 4, 5, 6 times, you're going to be seeing something new regardless of the fact that it is quick time events. So in saying that, the Jeep is a welcome addition to this. There are some missions where you have to get a Jeep to the top of the mountain, which I had an absolute blast playing with the Jeep. I have to say this, there's a set piece in this that is so unbelievable. This game features the best action sequence in the Jeep, and then also the other new feature, the rope, which is essentially kind of made me feel like Indiana Jones. Let's just be honest here, Uncharted has never been the most original series, I should say, to date. It's always been taking from other things, but it has been doing those things at the best of their abilities, and some of the things in this game I haven't seen in other games. And the rope I have unfortunately seen in other games, and I say unfortunately because I kind of feel like this rope thing should have been there a lot sooner in Uncharted. And I did play Tomb Raider this year and really enjoyed that, and that's where I first really got to use sort of a bow and arrow with a rope and be able to climb and swing and all of that sort of thing. So listen, guys, you see a lot of things from other series here, but the addition of the rope in this is a welcome addition. You go from the Jeep literally to throwing your rope up at one point, and I don't want to give it away. Guys, why am I even doing a review of a game that everybody knows is one of the best games ever produced? And I really sat back and I thought I should be honest with you guys. There are some things I don't think were good about this game, but you overlook them instantly because there's so much story, so much presence of emotions that it takes you out of it. It takes you out of the game and into a world that you have never experienced before in a series of video games that have literally been getting better. Well, let's be honest here, okay? Uncharted 2 was spectacular. Uncharted 3 was not the the pinnacle of the series, but Uncharted 4 is the best thing we'll ever see on the PS4, and I can guarantee you that. I have no idea what game's going to come out and top this. I have no idea.
Let me use a metaphor here. This game tied me up on my bed, and I mean sexually. Tied me up, didn't just put the tip in, put the whole goddamn long sausage right into my mouth. I gotta say, this game was 22 chapters long and had about 15 hours of gameplay, and I can't stress this enough. When a game pins you down and ties you up like this and demands your attention, you better give it to it, because there's a payoff that is like nothing else you've ever experienced. When it is giving it to you, hard and quick, you have to look at the small details. You need to read all of the notes. You need to find all of the items in this game, because they enhance the end result, which is a story that is so good that it rivals some of the best writing in an Oscar award-winning films. I'm talking about a game that transcends the medium. This is a game that is also a film, and there's nothing like it. So when it's pinning you down and it's sweating all over you, you lick that sweat up. You be a dirty boy or dirty girl. This show just took a turn for the strange. I apologize.
Let me talk about my final score, because this is an important one, and I think that everybody watching here needs to go out right now if they don't own a PS4. Not only go buy Uncharted 4, or even the bundle that comes with Uncharted 4, but buy the HD collection, play those games first. If you're an Xbox fanboy out there, you have Tomb Raider, which is a spectacular game in its own right, but I can't stress it enough. Just go buy this, because you're missing out on video game history here. It's unbelievable. So my final score for Uncharted 4, the end of the series, personally for me, because Naughty Dog is no longer part of the project, which some of you are going to be really upset about at the end of this series, especially at the end of the game here. You're going to be thinking, who can top this? And honestly, I don't think anybody's going to be able to take the series over and really elevate it past this. This is the best action-adventure game I've ever played, period, on console and PC ever. There's nothing that tops this. Some of the things that I disliked about the game definitely has some glitches here and there. I noticed some items flying in the air, some pop-in, some of the frame rate issues, but all those things are fixed with a patch that comes out day 1 or day 2 or whatever the hell it is nowadays. As you guys know, updates are constantly happening, so I'm assuming those things get fixed. I did notice them. That was a bit of a problem. Also, we do understand that Nathan Drake wants to retire. He doesn't want to go back to this, and I have to say, the pacing in the first 8 missions, all over the goddamn place, but very, 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 very slow. Now, is this a negative thing? I can't say it's a negative thing, because as you go through the game, you understand why the game started out so slow, like absolutely molasses slow. So slow that I thought, what the hell is this? This is horseshit. As I went through it, I realized, listen, I'm on a ride. These guys know what they're doing. They know how to fucking titillate me. I feel good now. I want to go out back with some maple syrup, just put my tip in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What else is amazing? Let's get to the pros. I don't know, everything. The music is spectacular. It keeps you guessing until the very end of the game. You keep wondering. And I don't want to spoil anything, but you will be wondering a certain question up until the end of the game. Best performances I've ever seen in a video game since The Last of Us, which is also made by Naughty Dog. So these guys deserve Academy Awards for video games. Can you imagine that happen? Last but not least, 2 things. Conclusion of this whole series is exactly what I wanted. Unbelievable how they did this. They knew what I wanted as a viewer, as a gamer, as a player. They knew what I wanted. So as a total here, as a gorgeous game, as it's like a must own for your PS4, I highly, highly recommend to go out there and get Uncharted 4, but also play the other ones before this. There are some moments in this game that will leave your jaw on the floor, and the conclusion is so bittersweet that I teared up so many times during this game, because the team that wrote it understand human emotion, and they somehow figured out how to take a scenario that could happen in real life and put it into a video game and let me experience it. So I'd like to thank right now Naughty Dog for the best emotional ride since The Last of Us on a video game console. I give Uncharted 4 an absolute solid golden 10 out of 10. The best action adventure game I've ever played, period. If you have any problems with this game, I think they can be all overlooked. It's one of these experiences you have to go with. You have to try it. If you don't have a PS4, go out there and buy it just for this game. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back very, very soon with a Battleborn review, Forza 6, NASCAR, DLC, whatever the hell it is, review. And then last but not least, I also have a little game called Doom that I'll be playing. And it's not based on all of the dates I went on over the last 6 months. Kind of is. It's like going to hell, but what? I love you guys. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much for voting. Unfortunately, I don't think I won the contest, but I will be covering E3 on the show. I'm very humbled with the support. It means the world to me. So, until next time, guys, love your butts, kiss your butts. Put the tip in, just a little bit of strawberry on the little tip, you know? Love you.